Hello everyone. Today we are going to present to you about our OOP project, which is a snake game. Our group members consist of Lee Tong Ming and Saharul Nizam. Before we begin our presentation, let me walk you through the flow of our presentation today. First, we are going to introduce to you about our project, which is the snake game. Second, we will share our motive on why we built this program. And next, we will have a demonstration on how the program works. After that, we will discuss a little bit on the UML diagram of the project. Next, followed by the relationship between our OOP subject, the concept that we have used in this program, and lastly, the conclusion of what we gain from this project and also this course. The introduction. Basically, we all know what a snake game is. A snake game is a classic video game, and in this game, the player controls a snake. The objective of the game is for that the snake could eat as many as apple possible, and as each time the snake eats the apple, its body will grow. However, the snake must avoid the walls and its own body. The snake can move in 4 directions, which is left, right, up, and down. There are 4 levels of difficulty for our game, which is easy, medium, hard, and insane. As the level increases, the speed of the snake also increases. The player can also press spacebar to pause or continue, and press enter to restart the game after losing. Next is our motive. So, what driven us to build this program is, number 1, it is to relive our childhood. As I said earlier, most of us in our childhood, we have played this game on a very classic technology. Now, it is our chance as a computer science student to rebuild the game in a better way. Second, it is suitable for all ages, not just kids playing the game. These snake games can also be a stress relief for the adult, as it is relaxing. Third, is to plan ahead our next move. As a student, we still have barely a general idea on what the real-world life application looks like with programming. So by building this game, little bit by bit, we can plan on our next move on what we want to do. And lastly, practice makes perfect, which is, as a computer science student, a programming student, we need to make our programming skills as good as possible. So this project helps us to practice our programming skills. Now we have come to the demonstration part, and I'll show to you the demonstration. Now I'm going to do the demonstration of the program. This is our source file consisting of 3 files, which is snakegame.java, gameframe.java, and gamepanel.java. To run our program, go to snakegame.java and run the code. And the first view or the first interface of the game will look like this. As said earlier, we have 4 levels of difficulty. So I'm going to pick 1. And this is the initial interface that we will see when the game has started. We can control the movement of the snake by using the arrow keys on the keyboard. And as we eat the food or the apples, the snake begin to grow by 1 unit. If we press the spacebar, the game will pause like this. and if we press again, it will continue the game. If the snake hits the wall, the game will over. And to restart the game, just press enter on the keyboard. Now I'm going to pick the next level of difficulty. As we can see, the speed of the snake is faster than before. This makes the games more challenging and more fun to play. Also, if the snake collides with its own body, the game will also end. And to exit from the game, just click the exit button above. We also have the score of how many apples have been eaten by the snake, and the score depends on the level difficulty. The higher the level of difficulty is, the higher the score per one apple is. So I think that's all for the demonstration. We continue with the next part.
Hello everyone. So I will be continuing on our presentation on the UML diagram of our SnakeGame program. As you can see, our program consists of three main classes: the game panel class, game frame class, and also the SnakeGame class. Firstly, the game panel class is where we design and build our SnakeGame. As you can see, we have various variables such as the integer type body parts to represent the length of snake, apple X and apple Y to represent the position of apple, and apple eaten to represent the number of apples eaten. We use timer class from the javax.swing package to trigger the start and stop of the game. We also use random class from the java.util package to generate random position for our apples. Next, chart type direction is used to indicate the moving directions of our snake. And finally, we have the JButton class to create buttons for our 4 game levels, which are easy, medium, hard, and also insane. As for public variables, we have the game panel constructor for our game main screen, the start game method to initiate start of a game, pin component method, and also draw method from the JPanel class to draw all those string words and graphic objects such as our snake and apple. Next, new apple function to generate new apple, move function for moving the snake, check apple function to add the score upon successful eating of apple, check collision function to check for collision within the wall or the snake's own body, and game over method for the game over screen. The next class is the game frame class, where it will extend the JFrame class to create our GUI application by calling for the game panel constructor. And finally, the SnakeGame class is where we call our main function to run and start the game. In the main function, we will call for the new game frame constructor. So this is it for the UML diagram. Next is the relation of the topics in our OOP course that were used for our project. First of all, our project is deeply related to GUI application and event-driven programming, with the usage of JFrame and JPanel classes for our app frame and content pane. Event listeners are added to read keyboard inputs of the direction for the snake to move, and graphics classes were used to display graphic objects. We have also practiced inheritance, where we extended game frame class with JFrame and game panel class with JPanel. Finally, there was usage of one-dimensional arrays for the position of our snake and apple. So that is all for the explanation on our project relationship with the OOP course chapters. So in conclusion, learning OOP this semester has been fun, at the same time challenging. What we have gained from this course is that critical thinking skills are developed because OOP requires us to think and solve problems. If we relate OOP to our real life, we can say that OOP is analogous to our real life, where our life will consist of chunks of problems, but it is up to us to break down large problems into smaller problems to solve them easily. So I think that's all from us. Thank you.